What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Rogue Trader Warhammer. I am addicted and I've just continued recording today. I'm literally, I think I started today at episode 22, I think, and it's episode, I think, 34? I know I said I had to pre-record just in case I couldn't talk a lot because of my surgery, but I'm addicted. It's 2:30 in the morning and I just want to keep playing more. And I want to find out what was up with these punks trying to cook me alive.
Or get left in the dust.
So I'm about to go find out. Except the real Master Fidelio is going to be over here now, and that's going to be awkward. As soon as you appear, a dozen eyes, guns, and guns shift in your direction. The guests of the ceremony no longer pretend to be peaceful mourners. They are, however, stunned to see you. I don't believe it. You had the nerve to come back after you tumble through the flames. Listen, Dagon, I hate you. You hate me, but maybe we can set aside our differences for the sake of our mutual target, so to speak. The man nods at you and narrows his eyes ominously. Finally, boy, you're showing some signs of being your father's son. Denz would never beat around the bush with rivals. Shoot their head off and be done with it anyway. Anyway, I accept your proposal. He aims his weapon at you. We've tried killing you quietly. That didn't work, so we'll just kill you, plain and simple. Like, this is Footfall for throwing sake. Bye-bye, Fidelio. Again, people want to kill me without saying why. We don't care. Come now, Dagon, let's give the man an explanation before his death. You see, Mr. Fidelio, my late father Denz Daemons take him. Belardo has bequeathed his entire fortune to you, not to me, his only son, not to his first mate, you. So where does that leave us? You must die. Ah, well, let's get it over with then. I'm not going to tell him I'm not Fidelio. That's boring.
You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none.
You will beg for mercy, but I will grant none. Alright, so let's make sure we got Gregor up in here. I want to get Abelard up in here too. You know, we're protecting our entrance as much as possible. Pascal, I think you could come here. Argento's going to be coming back here with Cassia. Adira. Be Adira. Argenta. And, yeah, Cassie, you can go back here. That's fine. Okay, save up. Start the battle. Step 1,
Me?
Argenta.
If you insist, Lord
There's only
Captain.
14 of them, so you know. Let's see what we got to deal with. Ceremony guest, guest, combat servitor, guest, guest, first mate, clerk. All right, let's mark one that we might actually be able to kill.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worth. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Good start.
I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act.
And that's okay. Alright, Cassia, get in a position of safety.
I have read tomes of military tactics.
Pascal. Step 1, let's set up our areas, shall we?
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
Let's give you, I guess, the advantage right now. And then set up this backline back here.
Override.
Now.
The scriptural prognosis is faithful.
Let's do this. Let's take our shot to take out another character. Killing people is priority, honestly. That. And we will joint analysis as well. Cassia. Step 1 for you.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
We are going to mark the first mate here. But that's not who we're going to shoot at.
I'll do it.
Shot. do want to run in. Like, fully is the problem. Trying to find a spot where maybe I could get him with it, but I can't from there. So that's not really a good spot for her then, I would say. Maybe here.
Emperor, give me strength.
That didn't work, obviously.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
Oh dear, that's not good.
Flesh is weak, yet iron knows no pain. Integrity failure.
Good night, Pascal. I'll miss you. That's your enemy, Ablard. You see him? You see him.
It will be done.
Good enough for me. Ablard will get attacked if we move him.
At your beck and call.
Percent chance we'll take it. NT there, buddy. Ooh, nice hit. You hit, I think. Can't tell.
Without deeds
Always hits.
is a prayer.
Guaranteed
As the
hits are where
Emperor
it's at.
commands, I act.
Let's work on you, shall we? The clerk should have had a flamer. It would have been more fitting. Would have been way more fitting if the clerk had a flamer.
Cover me.
It's unfortunate. I need to remember that she has the prey too. I really need to remember that. Combat servitor, oh no. You look like you got a big gun. Seems to be
Your end was
true.
inevitable.
Nice miss, nerd.
I'll see to it personally.
This is your enemy, Gregor.
On it. I'll see to it personally.
Unfortunately, you're not very good at fighting your enemy. Hit him hard. Decent hit. I mean, it wasn't not hard.
Frighten me.
It's a pretty good attack, though. Oof. Quick attack. You gonna shoot again? You are. Killed your ally, but dealt some pretty good damage to me. And then we got another guy with a sword coming in. It's a baby guy with a sword, though, honestly. %63% chance, not a terrible chance for sure.
The
Good hit, Pascal. You're gonna go down, buddy, but at least you're gonna go down fighting.
Running binaric override.
Cassia. Oh, that's all I want to do is give you an extra chance.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
I didn't move. That sucks.
If I may,
Acceptable, at least. If only, if only. So I'm a fear, but I don't want to hit our ally here. That would be bad. So I think it's extra turn to
I'm
Gregor
not
here,
accustomed to being ordered around.
who is going to
It's as
Wall.
good as done.
and
Me, if you insist, Lord Captain.
good luck, friend. Let's move the front line to here, shall
Do
we?
not dare ask.
Wait, what? Oh, is it gotta be on cover? Oh, is that what it
Isn't this
is?
a
It's
job
gotta be
for
on
the
cover?
serfs?
Jeez. I mean, everybody got a hit in there. That was pretty good.
Indeed.
Let's do that. Oh my god.
We'll
I think we
rule
gotta
the
do
stars
this.
themselves. At your beck and call.
Don't miss now.
Victory is imminent. One fewer target.
Nope. Yep.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Cass's turn, of course.
Cleanses the body.
Somehow hitting Argenta. We'll never know how.
Doubt is for the weak.
Honestly, we need to
As
just
the
work on
Emperor
Duggan here.
commands, I act.
Crit it, Argenta. Let's go. Nice, beautiful crit, Argenta. Beautiful crit. Good night, Abelard. Actually, didn't expect you to be the first one to go down. Oh, good night, Pascal. Or not, somehow. Argenta's screwed. This seems to be my enemy now.
On it.
Come at me.
Betrays me.
Pascal is still somehow alive. We'll never know how. Sure.
Cycle be discontinued.
Nice.
Scriptural prognosis. Messiah condemns you.
The Omnissiah condemns you.
My vow is to serve. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
Cassia. Cassia, my dear.
Battlefields are
Argenta needs to go.
always drowned in scarlet.
I'll do it. command.
She doesn't have any more movement, so I think this is the best we're gonna get
Me?
here.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
It didn't work. That's okay.
I'm afraid not.
Cass's turn again, of course.
Your aegis.
Oh, Argenta, you're still alive, and I love you for it.
I'll do it.
Jesus.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
You don't have a shot on anybody. Oh, that'll give her a shot at least.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Gregor, smack him.
I'll make it happen.
Wish you could have done more, Gregor, but that's
Who,
okay.
if not me?
Endure. Power yourself up. Call it good. Pascal?
Explorers know one route. Forward.
That.
Running
Put more
binary
exploits on
code
top of
right.
him.
The spiritual prognosis is favorable.
Sure.
Approved.
Argenta.
If I may.
Faith
I
without
forgot she didn't
deeds
have an
is
attack on
worthless.
anyone. There are 3 left, apparently. Oh, wait, no. She does have an attack. It's just she can't get it because I'm an idiot and I moved her. Whatever.
I'll
Now let her
paint
go.
Your death in colors.
Guided by faith. I'll do it. None can escape the
One.
Emperor's judgment. Doubt is for the
2,
I'll do it.
3.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. Faith without deeds is
You see,
worthless.
sir. You thought
I'll
you
do
were
it.
safe, but you do not know the wrath of
As the
Argenta.
Emperor commands, I
He's safe for now. But only for now. I can't get to him.
golden
Yeah, we knew that was gonna happen. That's okay.
Our Emperor
I accept that. Gregor,
deliver us.
This sacrifice will forge our way to victory.
there's a terrible man over here, Gregor, that
This
wishes
is
to
good as
die.
done.
No, Gregor. I said he wishes to die.
I'll make it happen. Another enemy
Dodge
down.
that. Dagon lifts his bloody face. Ugh, it hurts. We gain 3 profit factor. Cass Villardo clutches his wounded body. The crematorium's going to have its hands full today. You've stopped shooting. Oh no, Dad! The chaplain looks at the carnage around him matter-of-factly. Wonderful. This is the funeral Denz would have been proud of. Treat their wounds. I'm not in a killing mood. Will do. I would ask the esteemed guest to stay for a moment longer. We still have some important bit of business to take care of. The chaplain shrugs indifferently. Are we done with the firing squads? I would like to finally resolve the matter of Denz's inheritance. After that, give him a proper send-off. And so, according to the deceased's will, all of Bellardo's fortune goes to not his worthless son Cass, not his brainless mate Dagon, but to Fidelio, a mysterious new heir. However, I believe a certain party would like to intervene in this process. The only one there who truly loved Denz is his granddaughter Adelia Bellardo. She inherits his fortune. The name on the will is Fidelio, but the chaplain pulls a hefty scroll out of his bag and tears it to shreds. All his life Denz spat on laws. I think he'd understand. The old man sure as thrown didn't expect this. The money is mine. Don't worry, sweetheart. Daddy will help you put your grandpa's riches to good use. Cass, you've finally gone deaf from all that drinking. The inheritance is Adelia's, not yours. If you make any attempt to coerce her, I, as Denz's executor, will be forced to take steps. Chaplain puts a hand to the handle of his hammer. Oh, I see. All of you have it in for old Cass, eh? Well, I'm afraid you leave me no choice. What happened? Adelia's sobbing and crying her eyes out. Adelia smeared with her father's blood is shaking Cass's lifeless body. Daddy, get up! I'll give you the inheritance. You gave the inheritance to the girl with the old pirates. It was another achievement, dude. I didn't even know that. Like, I swear I don't know those are achievements. Like, that's incredible. That's freaking awesome. Demons take you, Cass. Threatening to murder your own daughter at your old man's funeral was a new low for you. You always were a useless waste, even in your final moments. What happens to the girl now? The chaplain sighs heavily as he looks at the weeping child. She's got no one left now. Her mother ran off to the edge of the galaxy, and her father, well, you saw it yourself. His brows furrow. After a pause, he curses under his breath and nods. I'll look after her until she's grown up. I don't think I need to spell it out for you. A little girl with a tremendous fortune might as well paint a target on her forehead. If we take Adelia in, no one will dare to hurt her. The courtesy of the reputation that my turbulent past has earned me, and if they do dare, he casts a meaningful sidelong glance at Cass's body. While I'm at it, I'll also help her not to squander her whole fortune, maybe even earn something extra both for herself and you. I think the best investment would be a merchant ship. I'll teach her the basics of void faring, find some reliable suppliers, pull a few strings in the administratum, and just like that, she'll have itself a decent enterprise. I can tell you're an affluent sort, and I imagine you could always use the servants of a robust, reliable supply network. Leave the paperwork and any other formalities to me. I'll contact your subordinates myself. Examine the servitor. The servitor is at once a woman is kneeling motionless and showing no signs of life. There are two charred holes where her eyes once were. Some malfunction must have burned its brain from the inside. Its face bears a peaceful smile. Why did the servitor attack Cass? I think that's one of Denz's house servitors. Cass brought them with him to the funeral. Could be the malfunction caused by some error during the servitorization process. Or maybe Denz, knowing his friends and family as the scum they are, gave it orders to protect his granddaughter. Who could say at that point? If takes taking care of the inheritance, what do we do next? Looks at the coffin. I'd like to say goodbye to my old friend. The crematorium is a bit wrecked now, but who needs a crematorium? Denz loved to have his enemies drenched in promethium and burned. They didn't call him Jerry Can Denz for nothing. I think it'd be a nice gesture to send him on his way with the old fashioned. Thankfully, it's easy enough to procure Jerry Can of promethium on Footfall. Fitting. Chaplain gives you a sidelong glance. Want to stay and watch? With pleasure. Well, let's get started then.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Nice. We're not in battle. Okay, start battle. End battle. Look at that. Wow, incredible. We freaking did it, friends. We freaking did it. Leather armor. Just go ahead and add that to the cargo zone, please.
I always have a backup plan.
M4 auto gun? Interesting. But I don't think we're going to be using that. I think that was all the loot to get from these guys. We're definitely going to be heading back to the ship to heal up. Which kind of is what it is at this point. It's a little, you know, step-by-step process that we got going on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll bring you guys back when we are over here getting ready to go into the Liege's area. Be right back. All right, we're back. I have healed up, and we're about to head in. Let's go ahead and save. Who knows what might happen in here? My patience, you remember the way out. Dismissed. The tall man in the austere gray clothes makes a show of looking past the woman he's addressing. Vadim. What as I put such harsh words into your mouth? You talk like you're an Imperial clerk, not one of us. The woman who is standing with your back to you lets out an ostentatious sigh, then her tone changes dramatically. Where's my cargo, Vadim? Falco has it, doesn't he? So that's how you do business with your old friends these days? So you don't remember. Then we'll help remind you. Guards, escort her out. Just gonna like murder him. Idari, move. The massive guard leans down to the woman and says in a lowered voice, Jay, get going while he's letting you. Go drown your sorrows with the Macius and think your lucky stars you're able to walk out the door. You won't get a chance next time. We will have to go back to the bar and find her. First an insult, now threats. I see courtesy and tact are no longer a valued commodity on Footfall. Oh well, I'll find myself a better deal. She stands on her heel and heads toward the exit. As she passes by you, she gives you a quick once-over, winks at you, then immediately turns with a flip of her jet black hair. Bye. The tall man who has long since noticed your presence is studying you intently. Vadim Takara, liege of Footfall. Please let us proceed to my office. The spread befitting a visitor of your rank is waiting. Your entourage will be accommodated nearby. Certainly, let's go. Please follow me. While you're engaged in small talk, you get a small chance to take a measure of the liege Takara. His expression is aloof and focused, his gestures curt and firm, his speech calm and quiet, as though he was used to people always listening to what he says. Judging by his observant gaze, he's been studying you in turn this whole time. Vadim strains his chair and says in a polite but completely indifferent tone, let's talk business. On behalf of the elite of Footfall Station, I offer you my condolences. Lord von Valancius, we mourn Lady Theodora's loss, and we hope this sentiment is taken as a sign of our good intentions and willingness to cooperate. Thank you, Liege. A terrible loss for us all. I hope that you understand, under your guidance, the dynasty can recover from this blow and attain even greater power. I'm impressed by your prudence. Your decision to arrive on Footfall incognito without announcing either the death of the previous rogue trader or your own status, it was quite wise. The rumors will spread sooner or later. It's impossible to keep secret something that's known to the thousands of people serving on a void ship. But for now, you are free to reap the benefits of anonymity. As you may have noticed, Footfall is currently in a state of crisis. Its people would benefit from the patronage of a figure such as yourself. Who is that woman the wardens threw out? Vladim's expression hardens and he makes a frustrated gesture. A dead woman walking. Some, however, still call her J. Haydari. A small-time hustler with big ambitions that will lead her to a sticky end. Imperium just succeeded. It's strange. A small-time hustler, even a particularly audacious one, would likely quarrel in public with a figure as important as the Liege Footfall. What seems stranger still is the Liege knows the small fry by name. She is irrelevant. Since I'm the one in control of the situation of Footfall, I can speak on behalf of all of its noteworthy residents. I was attacked right at the docks. An outrageous stunt, a show of disrespect for both you and me. Sadly, such incidents of Footfall are akin to natural disasters, impossible to predict or preempt. They simply happen. Many consider Footfall to be a pirate den, but believe me when I say there is a difference between organized crime and gangs of thugs who have nothing to lose. You were attacked by the latter. The Anvers are a gang of punks who spit on our customs and hierarchy. Even their leader is more akin to an idolage, a rabble rouser who calls for people's heads, not a commander. Sooner or later we will find him and have him strung up. That will likely cool his followers' enthusiasms. His words sound confident and calm. It really seems he isn't terribly worried about some band of void-born rats. I'd like to know more about the Anvers gang. Why haven't they been dealt with yet? He grits his teeth slightly before answering. I've been using all my resources to delay the moment when the station is hit by famine. I haven't gotten around to the Anvers yet. As detrimental as they are, they're no players. When their leader dies, the rest will scatter. I'm sorry for the loss of your assistant. What? The words seemed to perplex him for a moment, but his face remains cold. Oh yes, her death was a regrettable development. What's the situation in the region? Troubling. Xenos raids are going more frequent, trade is suffering, and fringe worlds are going under. Rumors of atrocities being committed by enemies of humanity are causing panic due to their exotic nature. The core of the Imperium forces in the Koronus Expanse have departed for the sector's borders to combat the Xenos threat. There's been no word from them for a while now. Then again, with the distance and the current issues with the astropaths, that is not entirely out of the ordinary. Still, we are not yet alone. From several of the worlds hit by the Xenos attacks, we've received reports of fierce warriors who descended the sky and entered the fray. The fragmentary accounts led me to believe that the blessed Adeptus Astartes are operating in the Koronus Expanse, and I await news of their victories with great anticipation. Has there been any Xenos attacks on the Footfall? No, there haven't. Attacking Footfall in general is not a particularly reasonable thing to do. Many ships are docked here at any given time, and even the list of weapons on board would make for a decent fighting force. And that's not even to mention the firepower that our esteemed merchants have shamefully hidden from the station's customs officials. For us, Xenos are more a source of income than a threat. Vadim freezes, gauging her reaction. Are we talking about dealing in Xeno artifacts here? In a manner of speaking, miraculously, Vadim has been managed to frame the last sentence as a question. Footfall is a place where anything can be bought And mind you, where anything can be sold. Do not approve of the fear of xenotech. One must know and understand their enemy. I'm convinced that your connections with Footfall will allow you to broaden your knowledge and understanding of Xenos considerably. I'll see to you that your curiosity is satisfied in every way. What sort of patronage do you seek from me? Protection. Not military protection, but a different kind of security. You have, of course, already encountered difficulties with warp navigation on your way here. I'm afraid the scope of these difficulties extends far beyond this area. Reports of disrupted routes and ships vanishing during short jumps are coming in from across the sector. Communication with Calixus sector has been extremely unstable. Of the ships that have dived into the mall in recent years, none have yet returned. The last ship to come through the mall from the other side was struck by a temporal anomaly. The jump took almost 2 decades in real space time. Aw, dang. You're well aware that the warp is unpredictable and its fluctuations are common, even an unexpected occurrence. And this brings us to our main issue. Footfall is a repair shipyard and a trading post. We barely produce anything ourselves, and we're largely dependent on incoming shipments, especially food shipments. The station naturally has some reserves, but the supply issues didn't start yesterday. Footfall would be obliged if House Von Valancius would assist us by signing a contract for food deliveries. Can't be the only one you've asked for help. Naturally, I tried contacting other rogue traders, but in the terms of the House Shorter would have bled Footfall dry. As for the esteemed Caligos Winterscale, instead of a food shipment from him, I received a transport the Navica packed with refugees. I had to send them off to Foulstone. So many extra miles to feed would only worsen the crisis further. I suppose all these warp fluctuations must have created more pressing concerns for Lord Winterscale, and so I put my faith in you, the third and last of Footfall's allies. So what are the terms? It's simple. Delivery of food shipments from your fertile wards, Janus, I imagine. I'm quite familiar with that jewel and the Von Valancius protector in exchange for fair payment. I'll help Footfall, but not out of the desire for profit. I have no interest in obtaining any favors in kind or becoming your patron, only in saving lives. Vadim's gaze is slightly distrustful. Such charity is a rare sight in the Koronus Expanse. Even figures as powerful as rogue traders do not show it often. Thank you, your lordship. What is happening in the shadow quarters? Why is there a quarantine? Oh, that, he grimaces. Who knows? It could be an actual epidemic, or perhaps the two families that started it all just came down with food poisoning at the same time. We're on a space station, and the best solution here is to isolate the area and wait for the problem to resolve itself. I've been told when the previous Legions faced a similar situation, you ordered the entire asteroid to be detached and dropped into the star. Yes, he did, and it was a senseless decision. It was. There are more reliable ways of disaffecting an area without having to lose a whole asteroid. That maneuver of his destabilized the station's integrity, and the consequences of which were still being felt up until I became Liege. When I entered office, I had to negotiate with the tech priest to make necessary repairs, and it cost me a preposterous amount of money and resources. You could have at least supplied the people trapped in the quarantine zone with food and water. Well, he doesn't have any, but okay. I could have, but I'm certainly not going to, Vadim says in a bored and casual tone. I wouldn't even under normal circumstances. With the threat of famine hanging over this ocean, our prospects are so unclear. Well, wish to help the people in the quarantine zone. I will have medicine delivered to them from my ship. Can't bar you from doing so, but I can't help note there is not the wisest course to action, with all due respect, your lordship. There's an establishment not too far from here. They let people torture fake Xenos there. I want to stop it. It will be dealt with. I have some questions about Footfall. Rest assured, I will be candid. My lips are bound by oath of service. What exactly interests you on Footfall? This abode of merchants, xenotech traders, and only a few bandits. What oath were you referring to? There's a certain custom on Footfall. Any rogue trader who arrives at the station and docks is considered to be its absolute ruler, and the liege their loyal servant. That makes me your servant. Vladim's arrogant bearing contradicts his words. However, as long as you remain incognito, it will be difficult for you to use this privilege. Keep in mind, if you wish to communicate with the less knowledgeable inhabitants of the station, for them, you are an ordinary visitor to Footfall. I won't abuse my right. And I, in turn, will remember your gracious attitude, and I'll remember it when the esteemed Caligos Winterscale returns to discover that Footfall is no longer under his patronage. He will be displeased upon finding his demesnes encroached upon, and will try to take it back. And Caligos Winterscale's displeasure is very, very hazardous phenomenon. Fight between two rogue traders will ensue, and as ridiculous as it may sound, its outcome will most likely depend on the allegiance of the station's humble liege. Something tells me you used to be a bit of a bandit yourself. You aren't wrong. My path was long and bloody, but in the end I rose from a running gang that has staked its claim to a treatment filter station to becoming the Liege of Footfall. Many died to make this possible, and those who survived figured it would be more convenient to put me at the head than continue the slaughter of the turf war. Can only help that my elevation and the peace that came with it have done the station good. That sounds logic to have the sharpest mind running the station. The administratum would have installed some pitiful clerk instead. I appreciate your breadth of thinking. In this day and age, few choose to allow themselves such a thing. Who holds the reins of the xenogoods trade? The Casbalica mission. a criminal syndicate that has seized control of the entirety of the coal trade in the sector. Xenos creations are in high demand, and so every single colony and Kazbalikan agent or two opposing their commercial interests is a lot more dangerous than using their merchandise. A pale ghost of a smile appears on his lips. Still, making friends with this organization is as profitable as it is dangerous to make enemies of them. And it just so happens that I managed to earn their trust, and on Footfall they conduct their business under my watchful eye. More questions. We're just one to go to make a few deals here on the stations. Here I am the main dealer on the station, and it would be disrespectful of me to suggest that you take your business to Footfall traders of lesser importance. Still, you might take an interest in a few people of note. For example, Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso, the servant of the ecclesiarchy, is rumored to purchase sacred artifacts from captains and other traders who don't seem keen on being his competitors. If you're looking for goods that can entertain you, find Octaviana at the establishment called the Adeptus Amasius. The chemical bliss that she offers is refined and possesses a satisfactory degree of purity. Just don't ask her to pour you her signature drink. It's meant for common Footfall rabble, not the discerning clientele. Let's get down to business. Let me see what you got. I'm at your service. You can expect the most generous discounts. To resolve the Blackcast, give it to me. Thank you. Stub revolver. I'll take it. Thank you. Red kits. Thank you. Now, what do you want? You want heretic trophies and Xeno artifacts, same as everybody freaking else. I don't even know if I have any. Should be a better way to organize this stuff, man. Is that everything? Other matters demand my attention. I guess that was. Alright, guys, well, that's definitely gonna do it for this episode. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.